morning and welcome to Sri Lanka Morning Show. Ayubowan.
Sunday, the 27th of November, was a very special day for the Sri Lanka Morning Show. It marked the production and telecast of the historic 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show, telecast on Channel 31. I'm sure you'll agree with me that it is a remarkable achievement indeed. Our thanks and congratulations to the director of the program, Nimal Alvis, and his charming wife Sugita, who have tirelessly worked to make this a reality. Today, we take a look at the celebration that was held to mark the occasion, very specially organized and hosted by Professor Tissa Wijeratne, the medical director of the Australian Institute of Migraine, and Dr. Dilani Wijeratne, conducted at the premises of AIM. So we are happy to share with you the celebration marking the historic 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show.
I am your MC, Chanith, editor for the Migraine Foundation Australia, and I'd like to warmly welcome you all for this fabulous event. First, I'd like to invite Professor Tissa Wijeratne, Director of AIM, the Australian Institute of Migraine.
Thank you, Chanith. What a wonderful occasion. Doing 1,000 programs, that's 1,000 hours as a migrant media person to a migrant community in a country like Australia is no easy task. So we are delighted and honored to be able to celebrate this massive event from Australian Institute of Migraine, Melbourne, Australia today. Mr. Nimal Alvis and Mrs. Sugita Alvis, you two have done tremendous contribution to the culturally and linguistically diverse communities in this nation. I have been a migrant academic for almost 20 years, and I know how hard it is for any migrant in any field to establish themselves. Bringing that culture and some sort of a sense of ownership is critically important for people to deliver what they wanted to deliver as Homo sapiens or human beings, so that we can continue to promote humanity. So this is a worthy cause to celebrate. So let's invite the key heroes of this event. If I can have Mr. Nimal Alvis and Mrs. Sugita Alvis to the podium to cut the cake so that we can celebrate this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause.
It is my pleasure also to recognize the contribution with some awards. The Mr. Nimal Alvis, we have some plaque to hand over to you as a token of appreciation.
Thank you.
And I will now invite the Chief Executive Officer of Australian Institute of Migraine, Dr. Mrs. Dilani Wijeratne, to come to the podium and hand over another plaque for Mrs. Sugita Alvis, because she is the unsung hero behind this massive effort. I will also invite Dr. Sam to hand over some flowers to both of them in recognition of these contributions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will now invite the Mr. Vijay Karunasen and Mrs. Himali Karunasen, both of them, to come on behalf of Victorian Language of School to recognize the Mr. Nimal Alvis and Mrs. Sugita Alvis for this contribution.
Thank you.
I'd just like to invite Mr. Vasanta Pereira to talk on behalf of SCATS Australia.
Good morning. Thanks for inviting me from the community side. Actually, I represent Sri Lankan Study Centre for Advancement of Technology and social welfare, which everyone calls as CATS Australia. Now we are in the 30th year. Actually, we just had the anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and some of you actually were in that occasion as well. So on behalf of Sri Lankan Study Centre, I'd like to appreciate Nimal's and Sugita's service to community. Especially, we used to run to them to get help whenever we have a community project to locals or to Sri Lanka. So we really, it's really a privilege to be here today and acknowledge their thousands program, because thousands episode, because that actually did a lot to our community, and we cannot really have some words to explain that. And so this event, thanks Professor Tissa for organizing it, and I think we all should recognize the efforts that Nimal and Sugita had, and to help our communities throughout. Thank you very much, and all the very best for your next thousands program. Thank you.
Thank you again. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Vijay Karanasena and Himali Karanasena to say a few words.
Thank you. Celebrating the 1000th episode of Sri Lanka Morning Show on Channel 31 is a significant milestone to celebrate, not only for the show and for Nimal and Sugita. It's also a significant milestone for the Sri Lankan media in Australia, and also for the community. The experience that Nimal had in Sri Lanka, working at Rupawahini Corporation from the beginning, and his knowledge he brought into Australia and started this program many years ago. And he learned smart ways to do the program, because in Sri Lanka, when he produced the programs, there were many people around him to assist him, a team of people, technical and non-technical. But in Australia, he had to do everything by himself, sometimes operating 3 cameras by himself. But he learned the way how to do all these things up to the right standard and the quality, with smart ways of doing things. I think you have to write a book about that. And we talk about 1 hour program on the Sunday premium time at 10 o'clock. But behind that, there's a huge amount of time that he has to spend recording, editing, and then a lot of other works to make the program for the final show. And also, he has made a lot of contribution to the community, providing a lot of information, knowledge, entertainment, and actually helping out to showcase the new talents. Himali, would you please tell something about that, the talent that he has contributed to improve the talents?
Yes, thank you, Vijay. Congratulations, Nimal. And yes, I can really tell how much, because as a kids program coordinator, I know how much the kids and the parents really enjoyed and valued the program. Nimal, it gave them a real opportunity to showcase their talents. So thank you very much. And now we have so many programs, but those days Channel 31 is the only program. So thank you very much. You've done a great service to our community. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd just like to invite Mrs. Norleen Hunter to share her thoughts as well.
Thank you so much. Well, I know that our computer has restricted us to 90 seconds. So I don't think I can actually tell so much about Nimal in the 90 seconds, because he has achieved so much, whereas not only in Sri Lanka, but in Australia as well. I'll just begin with how he began his broadcasting career. I think he and I worked together at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, then at ITN, which was the very first television channel in Sri Lanka, and before that at the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation as well. And he has brought his experience and his expertise to Australia, and he's really done a very good job together with his charming wife, Sugita. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. And let me quickly tell you a few things that he's been doing. Actually, this is the 1000th episode. But as this gentleman before me said, 1000th episode, it's a 1-hour program, but it has so many little other segments in that. So actually, I think he does about maybe about 7 or 8 segments in that program. So in fact, it's not only the 1000th episode, but I think it might be the 8000th program he's been doing. So I think he really is doing a very good job. And as I said, he's brought his expertise and his experience to this project. And he began his career here in Australia, I know, at the Swinburne University, at the studio where I was also there. I just did a few programs. And then we did the Sri Lanka News Weekly together. I did the program in Sri Lanka, and then we telecast it here. We sent it across on on internet. So we've been doing quite a bit of stuff together, and that's not all. He actually gets so many people involved, visitors to Australia, VIPs, politicians, entertainers, everyone who comes to Australia, they look out for and they look forward to performing and being interviewed on Channel 31 on the Sri Lanka Morning Show. So I don't think I have much time, but let me quickly tell you that they also won awards. The Antenna Awards, which are the awards that are they are the awards that are given to Channel 31, artists on Channel 31, producers on Channel 31, and Nimal won 2 awards on that. So it's not just just producing the program. He has been recognized for it as well. So I don't think I have much time anyway. So I'd like to congratulate Nimal for the work he's doing, and I know that he'll be doing more than this. He'll be doing thousands and thousands of programs ahead. So congratulations, Nimal and Sugita. All the very best to you. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
We're now happy to feature a brief greeting to the Sri Lanka Morning Show from my friend and colleague, who most of you will know, I'm sure, Indranil Dissanayake, a very popular television presenter and broadcaster from Sri Lanka. Here's Indranil.
ගෙවී ගිය සොඳුරු අතීතයේ අපූර්ව මතකයන් එක්ක ගත කළ විනාඩි කිහිපයක් හැටියට අද දවසේ මේ විනාඩි කිහිපය හඳුන්වා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ තමයි Channel 31 හරහා ශ්‍රී ලංකා Morning Show සහස් පියවර තිබුණා. එහෙම නැත්නම් දහස් පියවරක් තිබුණු මොහොතේ මුලින්ම ඔබ සැමටම සුබ පැතුම් එකතු කරනවා. දහස් වාරයක් වැඩසටහන ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා කියන එක ලිහිසි පහසු නෑ. මේ සිතුවිලි අයිතිකරු ඔබ හොඳින් හඳුනන ලංකාවේ ටෙලිවිෂනයේ ආරම්භක සමාජිකයෙක් Nimal Alvis, ඒ වගේම සුගිත අල්විස් එකට එකතු වෙලා උන් දෙන්නාගේ හිතේ ඇතිවෙච්ච සිතුවිල්ලක් තමයි මේ දහස් වාරයක් පුරා යථාර්ථයක් බවට පත් වෙන්නේ. ඒ සඳහා සහයෝගය ලබා දුන් හැමෝටම ස්තුතිවන්ත වන අතර ඔතන ඔය උත්සවයට සහභාගී වෙන්නට ලැබුණා නම් හරි සතුටක්. ඒ මොකද ලෝභකමක් දුකක් දැනෙනවා. ඒ අවස්ථාවට සහභාගී වන්නට නොලැබීම ගැන. නමුත් නිමල් සුගිත ඔබ ගැන අපි ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයින් හැටියට හරි ආඩම්බර වෙනවා. හේතුව අපේකම අපේ දේ ලෝකෙට ගෙන යන්න ඔබ දෙදෙනා දරන උත්සාහයට. එවනම් සුබ පැතුම් නැවතත් එකතු කරනවා. සියලු දෙවියන්ගේ ආශිර්වාදය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. මේ ස්වර්ණමය මතකයන් එක්ක තව චිරාත් කාලයක් ශ්‍රී ලංකා Morning Show එකට ගෙන යන්නට ඔබ දෙපළට සිද්ධාන්තම දිව්‍ය ශක්තිය ආශිර්වාදය ලැබේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
You're watching the celebration of the 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show on Channel 31, which was a memorable occasion. We will return to that celebration right after this commercial break.